Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we now have the official sneak peek number 2, which confirms the leaks that we saw earlier today. And take a look, because this sneak peek is actually really well done, and I want to give it mad credit, so let's play it right now. Oh, okay, so there's quite a few very cool things in that teaser. I gotta give a shout out once again, and I've done this several times, but the people at Marvel Future Fight, the people at Netmarble, I think I met one of the guys who make these sneak peeks. They do such a good job. The audio, the video, the pacing, sort of the little tidbits and the little Easter eggs in there. It's all very, very well done. Now, before you get to the photoshopping and the changing of the levels, I tried it. There are no faces here, so we don't actually get to see any of the in-game models for these, but seeing two bones in a cross can only mean one thing. Of course, guys, Dr. Voodoo is getting a uniform. No, obviously it's Crossbones getting the uniform that we saw the portrait for. So we see that, and then we cut to the second character here, and they're holding a sword, which if you don't know from the comics, it's definitely Baron Zemo. And then as we get a little bit closer, you will see that a little bit of light shines, just enough to make out the little sort of crown headpiece, the iconic headwear that he has, that pretty much no other villain wears. So that's definitely Baron Zemo, Helmut Zemo. So we got him as well. So one uniform confirmed, one new character confirmed. We have a little map here on the side, which literally every time there's a sneak peek with a map, I think it's a game mode change, or I think it's some sort of massive rework to Alliance Conquest, and I've been wrong every single time. So this time around, I'm not going to say anything. And then, of course, we have the Tier 3 logo right here. No, I'm just kidding. And then as we go further along, we see a woman. Okay, so we're obviously getting Shago from Kim Possible. No, there's obviously Viper, and it's really cool how her hair lights up green. I think it's a really nice touch. Again, you can try the Photoshop thing. There's no face underneath here. We see, of course, the Hydra symbol. And then listen to the end. I want to know who did this. Who is the voice behind this beautiful little whisper? Listen. Careless whispers in my ears. Oh, hail Hydra. So yeah, this is really high quality stuff here, guys. This is really high quality stuff. And, you know, I know that you guys are saying, well, Cynicalex, you're doing another video on the sneak peek, but you already showed us that we're getting Baron Zemo, Viper, and a Crossbones uniform from that last video with the leaked portraits. Now, for starters, I said in that video, we don't know if all of that stuff is confirmed 100%. For example, Taskmaster they could have made a model for him, and they could have made a portrait for him, but he might be coming in the Black Widow update. I mean, we're almost 100% sure he's coming at some point this year, because he's in the Black Widow movie, and Marvel Future Fight has done MCU movie updates since, you know, the beginning of time, since 2016. So it's, it's pretty much a shoo-in that we're going to get Taskmaster sooner or later, but we might not get Taskmaster now. We don't know for sure. So we do have to cover the official sneak peeks. And also, I don't want to ignore these sneak peeks and ignore the work that the people are obviously putting in to making them. Because you know what? Maybe this time around, because of an accident, because of a mistake or whatever, we saw the leak. But other updates, there is no leak. And we appreciate the sneak peeks then. So we should appreciate the sneak peeks now. Someone worked hard to put these together. And for these people that didn't want to see the leaks in the first place, they get to enjoy this as well. So I do want to give credit to those people. They work really hard. We've had some really amazing sneak peeks over the years. So this one is no different. One more time. Oh, beautiful. So we know now that we're definitely going to be getting Baron Zemo. Let me just turn on the in-game music here by going into the training menu. We know for sure that we're getting Baron Zemo. We know that for sure we are getting Viper, so 2 new characters, and then we know for sure that we are getting a uniform for Crossbones. Now, in the meantime, of course, on top of ranking up your Red Skull, you can definitely go ahead and also rank up your Crossbones. I believe Crossbones is also available to take to level 70. So, again, I don't recommend ranking up characters before they get a rework. And this is actually, well, along with Red Skull, this is the second time they do give Crossbones a uniform. But I will be, in a future video, I will be ranking up Crossbones to level 70 and taking him into some action and seeing what he can do. Oh, God, that's a really bad obelisk. Well, it's not that bad. It's okay. But yeah, so that is an option for Red Skull and for Red Skull and Crossbones. However, if Dr. Octopus is getting a uniform, hopefully he will also get his level 70, because right now he cannot go past level 60. So that is something to keep in mind. Viper is going to be a new character. For those of you that were maybe disappointed with Shadow Shell being a poison, I mean, she's a good poison type, but Viper might also introduce more poison skills. I would probably not expect Viper to be as poison oriented as Shadow Shell is, with 4 out of 5 skills being poison typed. I would probably expect something more along the lines of, you know, 3 or 4 regular physical skills and then 1 to 2 poison type skills, sort of how Black Widow used to be. Well, she kind of is still like that, where, you know, multiple skills are physical and then just a couple of them are lightning based. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Now, the other big thing that people are talking about that I want to mention is the tier 3. Because traditionally, now I know you guys are going to bring up the Quicksilver thing, because Quicksilver was in the background. He was a shadow sort of silhouette in the background of the Rogue Scarlet Witch teaser for the Uncanny Avengers sneak peek in that update. Him and Vision and Sabretooth were in the back, and then Rogue and Scarlet Witch were front and center. But Quicksilver ended up being that tier 3 for that update. And every tier 3 character besides Quicksilver and every other update, the tier 3 character has not been featured in any of the other sneak peeks. Okay, you follow what I'm saying? So that means, if we follow that logic, ignoring the Quicksilver, it means that Red Skull's not going to get his tier 3, because Red Skull was in the very first sneak peek. Obviously, Captain America can't get his tier 3. I don't know why they're giving Captain America another uniform. But anyways, Cap can't get his tier 3 because he already has tier 3. Cap tier 4 maybe. It also means that Crossbones and then Baron Zemo and Viper won't be getting their tier 3 either's, which means, again, I'm just speculating, I'm not saying this is the truth, but which means that there's a much higher chance that either Dr. Octopus or Taskmaster could be the tier 3. Now, in the case of Dr. Octopus, I like it. I like it when bad characters get a tier 3 and they can get a rework, but it is the 3rd combat character in a row, and it's like 4 combat characters in very close succession. We had Namor, and then Cyclops, Quicksilver, and then Apocalypse, Crescent. So that would be 3 out of the last, or no, 4 out of the last 6 tier 3s being combat. I don't mind it that much, but it's like I'm 50%. I don't mind. 50% is too much. And then for Taskmaster, he's either going to be speed or combat, but whether we get a speed or combat tier 3, whether it's Superior Octopus, Dr. Octopus, Taskmaster, whatever, there's no universal, right? I mean, none of these characters are going to be universal because they're all humans. So it means that we're going to go another update without a universal. Now, for those of you keeping track at home, it's been almost a year since we got a tier 3 universal. That is insane. I know some people complain that they don't get books fast enough to tier 3 characters, but there's no way. There's no way you haven't caught up on the side of universal books, because it's just been ages. Thanos was the last universal tier 3. That's literally Endgame. It's almost a year ago. So there also is the possibility that we get an out of left field, sort of a random tier 3 that doesn't necessarily have to do with the update. Now, you could just choose a really strong universal type that has sort of that leadership quality, not necessarily that they're leading Hydra or whatever, but they just have those leadership qualities, like a Hela or like a Doctor Doom. I wouldn't mind Hela. I do think Doctor Doom doesn't really deserve it, because he's pretty strong right now. But otherwise, I wouldn't mind any of the weak universals getting a tier 3. I've made this known already, like Ghost Riders or Morgan Le Fay or Sentinel or Ultron. I think Ultron would actually be a really good pick, because he intersects with Red Skull in terms of the story mode, and in the new story mode, Ultron betrays Red Skull and kills him, and then Ultron ascends. Spoiler alert, by the way. Ultron ascends, then you have to stop Ultron. So that would be a really cool thing for them to do, and to tie that in. That would give us a universal tier 3, which we desperately need, and it would give us another rework. Because the thing is, if Dr. Octopus gets a rework with his uniform, that's great. He could be really good. He doesn't necessarily need the tier 3 if he gets a rogue-like uniform. Okay, you follow me? Taskmaster, hopefully he'll be introduced as a very, very strong character out of the gate, a la some of the recent characters that have been introduced, at least as strong as War Tiger and these other characters. So him getting a tier 3, it's nice, and it's nice to get a villain tier 3, but, but if we get a tier 3 for an existing character like Ultron or like, Morgan Le Fay or Hela, we get another rework on top of it. Now, that would assume that he's also be getting a uniform, because just giving Ultron a tier 3 skill and a stat bump would not be good enough. I think his skills actually do need to be reworked. So maybe I am stretching it a little bit too far, thinking that there's going to be that many uniforms introduced, because we know for sure there's going to be a Red Skull and Crossbones uniform. We're expecting to see as well a uniform for Superior Octopus. That's already 3 uniforms. I think there's one more uniform that I'm missing that I just can't remember. Oh yeah, the Captain America uniform. No one wants that uniform. Anyways, so we already know that we're getting 4 uniforms and 3 characters. That might be too much to ask for a 5th uniform and a 5th rework, considering that basically all the other ones are reworks as well, besides Captain America. But yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I think it's a topic that a lot of people are talking about, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle these tier 3s and who they choose. It'll also be interesting, and it's why I recommend that you do not spend. So I'm recommending that you save your Awakening Crystals, because there's a pretty strong chance that that some of the Hydra agents will come with an Awakening skill. I would not be surprised at all if, like, Red Skull, Baron Zemo, Viper, and Superior Octopus, those 4 characters have an Awaken skill that requires you to have all 4 of them at tier 2 in order to awaken, like the Warriors of the Sky. And then they get their sort of Hydra tag as well. And then maybe one of them will have a leadership that buffs the damage of Hydra, like the Hydra agents, which would be characters that have this ability. And then they could retroactively give the Hydra tag to other characters like Sin, Crossbones, etc., to sort of build up that subclass of characters even more. So quite a bit of characters to maybe consider investing in. I mean, if you don't have, for example, Dr. Octopus tier 2, he's a solid tier 2. He's a solid like B tier 2. He's good enough for Shadowland. He can go into the 40s, into the 50s. At least on my account, he can go into the 50s. So it's not something to, really, you're not really throwing away your resources, even if he doesn't get a massive upgrade, although he doesn't need one. But then on the other hand, I would skip on Red Skull and Crossbones, at least until we see what their reworks look like in the APK. As far as the APK goes, guys, just to give you a quick recap, we are probably going to be getting a Facebook live stream in a week on February the 6th. And then that means February the 7th, we should be getting the APK on our hands. So pretty soon, I'll be able to see what the hype is all about, and we'll be able to dive headfirst into this Hydra Villains update, which is shaping up to be amazing. And I can really feel the hype in the community, and I'm happy that so many people are excited. I can see a lot of people as well messaging me, hey, I'm getting back into the game again. Hey, I just checked out Marvel Future Fight again after taking a break from the game. So I like to hear that. I like to see that. If you're checking out the game, hit up that New Agent Training Center. There's a lot of goodies waiting for you if you haven't been playing for a couple of months. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Who is the next tier 3 going to be? We bet on it with Rent on the live stream, so if you missed that, let's see who wins when all is revealed. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.